Well, hello, folks. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19. What we're going to be doing today is we're just going to finish off that potato harvesting contract we had, which was a thing, and hopefully we will plant something in our field, which of course is field 27. So we only own the one. Field 27. So we're over here working at field 9 doing a contract. I might set the worker on that and do another contract. See if I can get another job. Just one that might be cultivating or something that I can do. And then we're going to have to get a seeder or get some sort of planter so we can put a crop in. Because we do not own one. We have the tractor here. We've got the Fiat. So trailer, of course, and we got the New Holland combine, and we have the boom spray. How you doing there, doorbell? So let's schmooze over to here. Now, one thing I did do off screen was I bought the tractor here, the Fendt, back over from the place where we have to dump the product for this guy we're doing the job for. So the harvest is full. So we're going to, come on tractor, we're going to unload and unload this. There we go. And we'll get in the harvester and we'll just get that started up going ready. I'll turn it on. Apparently so. And we're going to hire a worker. And he's just going to drive off. Classic. Classic move. Classic. Right, yes. As I said, we have to buy a seeder for our farm. So let's have a look here. Now, I think... Where do we go? Seeders. Now, I did have a plan to buy... I had a plan. What I was going to do is I was going to get the Kuhn power harrow, and I was also then going to get the Kuhn subsoiler, or the ripper here. And I was then going to get the BTF 400 here, so how it works is you put the ripper on the tractor, and then on the back of that, the power harrow goes, and then you put this on the back of the power harrow. And then what you do there is you put this, the TF1512, on the front of your tractor. However, our tractor we have, the Fiat, doesn't have a front hitch. So that blew that plan out of the water. So what we're going to do, I think we're going to get the Stara Crestmaster 3570, 39 grand. We can plant quite a few crops with that. And also, it is direct drill, so we don't have to do any cultivating or ploughing, so it is no-till. So what we could do then is, if we wanted to, we could get a plough. Obviously not the Gregor Besson one here, the Fiat won't tow that. Would it tow this one? We could get this at some point. Anyway, what we could do, we can get a plough, so we can plough, and then we can just seed in straight away if we wanted to at some point. But what we're going to do is we're going to see if we've got a job. This is what we're doing now, so old mates, we're halfway there, which is good. And we could do a seeding job. No. So I don't know if we can actually have... See, we could do this and we could use our own equipment for that, because we have these transport ones, because we have a tractor. I mean, we could probably do that because we have a what do you call it? Sprayer? Transport. Right. I wonder if you can do a job whilst you're already, like, doing a job, if that makes sense. What's field 10? That one just behind us. It's tempting to take that job. Take this. We could do this ourselves, you see. Make sure to fill the tool with seeds. I don't know. Use your own equipment or lease equipment. How big's field 20? Because we do have a sprayer. Where's field 20? Oh, field 20's tiny. We could do that. You're only going to get $1,000, but you know what? Nah. We'll just concentrate on finishing this monstrosity first. Because why not? Yum, 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 yum. Mowing it down. How is everyone? I'm doing okay. I've got me working on a couple of things. I bought a Osmo Action coming to mail, like, I don't know, earlier in the week, and I've got it out, and I was like, actually, no, I've probably had it for a week already, and I've only just decided to use it. So I've got it outside doing a time lapse, so I can work on putting the podcast on YouTube, actually, because I don't want to put just audio on there. I want there to be some sort of visual for it. So I'll see if I can do a heap of time lapse stuff and just put that with the audio. But I'm doing okay. I went into my place of work yesterday, and it was very odd. It was like a weekend because there was like, let's see, there was 4 people there. It was a little bit odd. But you can't particularly work at home when you have to go and do jobs that require you to use elaborate audio setups. So hopefully this halves is going to fill up. How are you though, Doorbell? That's the real question here. That's what everybody wants to know. That's what everybody's talking about. But yeah, no, I'm going all right here in my part of the world. I think they're thinking about just bored. Well, hopefully I can, I don't know, give you some mild entertainment for an hour or so. They're talking about maybe easing some restrictions where I live. Hello, Heather. Ooh, getting ready to record your podcast. Is it called Doorbells and Bells? I'm an awful person. I don't. I mean, I listen to enough podcasts, but when I'm in various communities, such as on what do you call? I record bells, but I haven't made a podcast about them yet. Oh, okay. Now I think I was talking to a friend last night, and I don't know how it came about, but anyway, basically, me and a friend are playing City Skylines together. So we started on the same tile, and our cities are quite different, even though we've started at the same place. Anyway, now he called his town Maxwell, and I called my town Niles. So as a result, we've been talking. I don't know why we decided that we're going to name them Maxwell and Niles. We were talking about the nanny, obviously. Anyway, last night we were talking about the nanny once again, and I was like, there needs to be a nanny podcast, like about the show The Nanny. So I did search up like nanny podcasts, but it was podcasts for people whom are nannies, like professionally. I couldn't find one about the TV show The Nanny. That's it, Miss Fine. I love it. And then I got online and I was like, I need a nanny t-shirt. I need like a comedy. I'm a fan of a comedy t-shirt, and I need one with like the nanny on it or something like that. So yeah, but that's it's a fun show, The Nanny, I've got to say. It's one of my personal favourites. It's one of my personals when it comes to like 90s sitcoms. If you're like, what's your favourite 90s sitcom or 90s show from the 90s, I'd probably say The Nanny. Miss Fine, yes, and smooth, sophisticated, suave Maxwell Sheffield. Oh, Maxie. And said friend actually sent me like a review video, or it was like, one of those videos. Oh, why is The Nanny so great? And the person on the said video was like, well, it's a romantic comedy, and I thought I've actually never really thought of the show as a romantic comedy. It was just a 90s sitcom. Yes, Niles was a lot of fun, and his various hot takes and sly comments he'd make to CC. They were a great they were a great like double act. Because like, I don't know, I remember one episode she's like, oh, I've got to get these contracts to London by morning, or something like that. And Niles had a broom, and he's like, oh, hop on. You'll make it just in time with the time difference. Implying, of course, that CC Babcock is a witch. I don't know. You found a podcast. Ooh, this is exciting. Heather's Detective Senior Constable Heather has found a nanny podcast. I mean, I assume it wouldn't be as good as if, like, say, me and you were the hosts, Heather. I reckon we could make a pretty mean nanny podcast. Are these contracts changed? No, they're pretty much all the same. Search on Google for The Nanny Sitcom Podcast. Actually, you know what? That's probably smarter than just going The Nanny Podcast. The Nanny Sitcom Podcast. I shall. Yeah, absolutely. But we'd have to watch it, obviously. I do have season 1 on my computer, which I don't know, I must have, acquired nefariously at some point. Let's do. Well, we're making good progress on this, 60%. I just wonder if we should actually bother doing another job. We could just do a transport items from the transport company to Railroad Silo West. Whereabouts of those locations is this halves to full? It is. The thing with potatoes, or like root crops, so potatoes and also the sugar beets, the yield is huge typically. But price, though, is typically not much, but you do get a very big yield for your crop. Big yield for said crop. Now, transport company to Railway Silo West. So Railway Silo West is there. Transport company. Am I missing something? Railway Silo West. Train station mill. Spinnery. Mill. Sawmill. I know I'm missing something. Anyway. Let's have a look. See, like potatoes. What's the spud price? Yeah. So, the potato price, see, it's not much at all. It's $384 there at the grain mill. But you get so much product because the yield's so high I guess having a lower price doesn't really factor into it too much. Now, actually, I'm very tempted to fire the driver and actually do an unload proper. Actually, let's do one on the move. Because I'm not really, I mean, he probably is, but I am skeptical that he is actually unloading the harvester fully. I don't know. I think he's going to have some problems here in a minute because the field's not square, so we might have to take over the harvester, which will add some excitement to proceedings. It's a little bit of a turn. But I've been watching quite a few videos on YouTube of harvesting various things and just agricultural videos, farming videos in general, which has been a bit of exciting. Gotta go, sorry. Rightio, we'll see you later, Heather, and I will Google the Nanny Sidcom podcast because that would actually make sense to search that up rather than like the Nanny podcast and getting stuff on how to be a professional nanny. Hope you have a good evening or afternoon, Heather. Alright, spin this bad boy around. I tell you what, I'm very unimpressed with this. With this here. Look how much product is leaving. All that. I'm not happy about that. And especially up there. Look at that. It's disgraceful. I'm not happy about this. Lucky it's not my crop, but if it was, tell you what, I'd be wild. That's a very impressive machine, that. But, yeah, like, look at this. All this. Oh, well. Alright, he's off. Let's hop in. See if we can sack this guy. Oh, he screams. We'll get out of the cab. Oh, yeah, well, it's filling up. Obviously. How full's our trailer? 74. I think what we'll do is on the way back, we'll do a moving unload. And I think we'll just keep doing that. So we'll drive the tractor back up to the end here. Gee, she's blowing a bit of chaff, this tractor, blowing some heat. But look at this end though, it's pretty, like it's perfect. He hasn't missed anything. I guess maybe because the road's down there, there's not enough room here for the AI to turn around. But I mean, they take up so much room though turning around. It is ridiculous. We might start having some problems here with how this field's not square, so it slopes down and then there's a road there. So he's probably going to start missing product like he is up there, I suspect. So we'll just reverse back here. I wonder how much it would have to invest to start doing potatoes or sugar beets, for example. So we would need a planter. So the cheapest planter, this is ready to go. It's 27. So if we buy this, for example, it's 26 for the Lemken, then 8 for the bin, 30 and 8 for the Vedastad. So 27 for a planter, and then potatoes. Oh, actually, no, we need this, don't we? So that's 21 grand. 150 for the pool type harvest. How much for a self-propelled one? You'd probably, there's probably not really much value in getting the roper. Really. But we could tow, this is ridiculous, but we could tow this behind our tractor. We would have to do that separately, though. Beat. Sugar beets. Where are they? Can we not get a sugar beet harvester? A one that we pull? Obviously not. We have to get the big one. For a very reasonable 375,000. Jeez. 45. Why would you buy this? Because this can carry more. It doesn't take as much fuel though. If that's a thing that's important to you. And oh my. Excuse me. So let's go have a little bit of yawn then. Of course, it's the dream to have the Grimmy Platinum TerraTrack. Oh, beat technology. 98 for that, right? And 22 grand for topper. Not cheap stuff. This old mate over here stopped, has he? No, he's still moving. Right, well, we'll wait till he turns around and we'll do a unload on the move. And then we'll probably be close to be able to take this trailer over to where we need to at the grain mill and unload that. So old mate's going to turn around. So we will do a very AI sort of maneuver and take up so much room to turn around because YOLO. Hopefully we can get this job done. It's going to take forever. But I mean, I don't want to, I don't know why, but I don't want to plant our field in the dark, but it is coming light. I do have a time on 15 times, so I think when it becomes maybe 6:37 game time, so in another 2 hours or so, I'll put the time scale right back and we'll go and we'll plant something in our field, I think. I have to buy seed. We got to get some supplies as well. So let's see if we can just feel the rear end of this trailer a little bit more. She's a bit empty. This trailer's nearly full, so which is good. 90. She's close. 98. It's got 45,000 capacity, this trailer. Must do. 7, 8, 9. She's full. Right, we'll go and unload this over here. And we're going to be a little bit closer to achieving 100% on this job. Am I on the right side of the road, which is actually the wrong side of the road? I think so. I have the lights on max. Look at the fence. Look at this interior. I don't know. All these buttons here. Whoop. She's a bit light in the front end, this tractor, with all that crop on the rear end. Stop. We better stop. Right, let's go. $100 wage. I mean, if old mate's getting $100 an hour driving that harvester, he's doing all right actually, because he's just got to set on auto steer and sit back, put his feet up, look at a magazine. Yeah, easy. Right, what's the time now? It's 5, so we're getting closer to daylight. Yeah, she's a bit... I should have got a front weight for this tractor. She's a bit loose in the front. Whoa. My goodness, it is. She is light in the front end. Oh, well. Right, now obviously we can't forget to return this equipment when we're done with the job. Oh, does it do that automatically? Hopefully it does. I don't want to drive it all down to the dealer to take it back. Depending on where I am with the tractor, I probably could run that in on the way back to where we need to get. Right, don't go in there because I drove in there the first unload we had to do with this crop, and I was like, oh, it's a survey, little general store thing. So now is there a all right, tight left here. Well, let's see. Hit that sign, bang. Oh, jeez. Rightio, now we're going to get up on the dumper. Potatoes. We'll unload this. Now, I wonder how far this will take our job progression along. It'd be interesting. It was about 60%, I think, before. So I'll have a look to see where that's at. Oh, 71%. There we go. It's told me up in the top corner there. Right, let's hoon around here. And go back. Bit of cotton in there. Nice cotton. That'd be something fun to get into. Do a barrel roll. Oh, I don't know if we're going to get that crazy doing baz rolls. I don't know what I said a baz roll for. Is a barrel roll like a Swiss roll? Have a cake with jam in it, rolled up. Oh, I haven't had one of them for ages. Or a piece of that for yonks. Oh. Oh, what a Swiss roll. Swiss miss. Am I right, folks? Boots. We were just talking earlier, Mark, I don't know if you're here or not, about The Nanny, the TV show. What are your thoughts on it? I think it's probably my favourite 90s show, if I'm honest. From my long-lost youth. Yeah, that's it. Miss Fine. Miss Fine. Oh, Mr. Sheffield. Oh, Mr. Sheffield. Love it. I have found apparently there's a podcast, because last night I googled the nanny podcast, but I was getting like podcasts for people who are nannies, like professionally, not as in the sitcom. So killed me is when I found out that she doesn't actually speak like that. What, that she doesn't say Mr. Sheffield? I love there was that episode. Now, what happened? There was that episode they went somewhere. Did they go to a hotel? Or it was like they were going on a family holiday or something, and in the lobby of the hotel was Fran Drescher. And she's like, oh, look at this, Mr. Sheffield. What am I doing? I can't remember what I'm doing. Oh, you know what? I want to do this. So you have stuff to listen to that's not my voice. Anyway, I've totally forgotten. Why did I come in here for? That's it. To take the time down. Okay, cool. The sound's back as well, because I've been playing the game and I turned the sound off because I listen to music, but I obviously totally forgot to put the noises back on for you folks, so you're just hearing my dulcet tones. Now you can hear my dulcet tones over the top of various tractory tones. Mr. Sheffield. Is that it? Okay. Right. Let's make a decision. Let's make some decisions on purchasing some equipment. Now, we need a seeder so we can get a crop in. Now, the tractor we have is 150 horse, so we can easily tow the Amazon. We can tow the Vedastad. We can tow the Agro. We can tow the Star Up, but I think this is a bit too big. See, we need 180 horse for that, for the rapid seeder. I think we're going to go with the Star Up. It's a decent price. It's 40,000. It's 3.6 meters, so it's a little bit of an odd width, but we can do seed as well as fertilizer. Whereas, we can do it on this as well, but that's 3 meters. So I think this extra width will be good, even though it's not really that much wider. But we do have a capacity. Wow, that's no-till as well. Oh, now I don't know. Because this has a capacity of 5,000. This one's only 14, so that's not very big capacity at all. Is the lack of capacity... Well, it costs... No, we're going to get this one. Seed as well as fertilise seems a bit forward. Yeah. Right, well, we've just changed our mind. We're going to get... but you need 180 horse for this one. Our tractor's only 150. Oh, I don't know. I need an adult. Actually, let's have a look at a planter instead. That's probably not really, because we can't harvest corn. The only thing out of this stuff we can harvest is the soybeans. So a whatchamacallit, planter isn't going to suit our requirements. 100. I think, see, if we're going to risk it with buying this, right, we could risk buying this because this is 6 meters, but it doesn't do fertilizer. You know what? This was the original plan. We're going to do it. So we're going to get the Stara Ceres Master 3570. So let's buy it. Yes, I do want to be, yep, okay, cool. And also we need to get, where does it come under? Nope. Here we go. We need some bags. So we need a seed bag and we need fertilizer. But now a seed bag, that gives us 1,000 seeds, $900 do littles. But we can get a pallet of seeds, which gives us 2,100, and it's $18.90. So that's better value for money, I think. So we're going to buy one of them. So we're going to buy a pallet of seeds. Thank you. And we can't buy a pallet of hard fertilizer. So we're going to get solid fertilizer. Anyway, so we're going to go, yep. What's something we can do soon is we can get these installed, the seed tank, etc., over at the farm, which will be good. Then we don't have to worry about driving to, and we can just pull up with our equipment and fill it. Come on, tractor. Jesus. Here at the yard, but I don't own the farmyard yet, so I guess we probably actually can't do that. So let's hop in the Cabaroonie and scoot down here. I wonder if this tractor's got a handbrake. Probably does down there. I was looking at the bit of excitement. I was looking at the manual for our tractor. We've got a Fiat 615, which is quite a bit smaller than this. It's only about 60 horsepower, but it's supposed to have a handbrake, but ours doesn't, which is interesting. So anyway, we'll get down here. We will hook up the seeder, we'll fill it up, and we'll drive to the field. What are we going to plant? That is the question. I think maybe a crop that we can get good money for. So probably canola or soybeans. I'll look to see. I think the field had soybeans in it already, so we don't want a double crop. So we'll probably go canola. You also do get decent money, I think, for oats as well, and we can harvest oats with our harvester. So oh yeah, you got a friend who got a friend who can cooks with canola oil. What a loose unit I bet he is. We're a family-friendly stream, so I'm not going to say that other nefarious word. Ooh. Ah, cool. So those pallets are just going to sit there because we don't have any way to move them. And old mate here at the shop's going to be Burko about that. He's going, oh, why don't you get your crop out of my yard? Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. But give me a loader and a trailer and I'll shift it. But you won't, will you? So, whoops. Right, cool. So we're going to go up here, flog the guts out of this. Meep, meep, meep. Because that's the tractor noise. Now this is actually illegal in the real world. This seeder would probably be end-tow. I should actually look, but this seeder would be end-tow in the real world because you can't transport anything wider. I think 3 meters is maximum width for transportation on the roads where I live. So this is 3.6, so this is illegal. Yeah, actually, I'll tell you something about a Holden. There's when I go for a ride on my bicycle, I ride through one of the lower socio-economic areas of where I live, and there was a Holden. Now, what was it, like an Astra or a Vectra or something, parked up on a lawn in front of somebody's house. I was like, okay. Anyway, so then I don't ride every day, so say, for example, I rode past this on like a Tuesday. And then when I rode past on a Thursday, said vehicle was burnt out, and now there's a burnt shell of a car on this lawn, which is actually quite amusing. I went past like, somebody's at a Barbie. They've burnt up their car. Now, seed we want. Actually, let's have a look. Yeah, burnt cars. Let's see. What can we get? I think that's oat. Yeah, anyway, we can get... well, we can't do that. I don't want to do canola. That's canola, isn't it? Yeah, let's go canola. Which is that one. And actually, what was in this field before? Soybeans. Because we don't want to double crop it. Because that's something you don't do. Needs ploughing. I know it needs ploughing. Probably needs lime as well. Yep. At least there's no weeds in it, so that's good. But we might get I don't know, plough maybe at some point. Vacuum cleaner happening outside my room. Double cropping a euphemism. No, it just basically you don't put the same crop in the same paddock consecutively. It's best to give the ground a bit of a rest and have a crop rotation. It's the thing to do in the farming community. I'm sure there's some actual scientific reason behind it, but I couldn't tell you really why. I think it's just to keep the soil health. Bill Bellamy's. Actually, there used to be a company here called Bellamy's. They used to make, they did baby formula. And they got bought out by the Chinese. So, yeah. Anyway, we're doing a little bit of... Look at this. I think we can do this ourselves. We don't need to hire somebody to plant our field. I mean, we'll just hire them to harvest it for us, but we can do this. I don't want two guys in the books, pretty much. So, at the end. I know it'd be interesting if we have to we'll have to refill. We'll have to refill something at some point. Let's make a land. So we'll go down here. And we will attempt to drive as straight as we can. Oh, this is not straight at all. That's not great. That's pretty ordinary. Oops. So the idea here is I'm supposed to drive down here straight. But obviously I can't. But we could get the GPS on this tractor, but I don't think it's worth the money on this tractor. Once we get something a bit more swanky... Yeah, well... Oh no, it's not straight though. Look at it. So it's sort of okay near the end, but... yeah, it's 2020, no straight guys left. Wait, that sounds a bit... whatever. Like straight actors, there you go. I was actually watching an interesting video... Actually, I don't mind mowing the lawn, if I'm honest. It's I don't know if it's therapeutic, but... You know, you go around the edge and then you just go up and down. Oh. You'd be like, yeah. You'd always hire somebody to mow your lawn for... Is there like somebody in your street that has like the most perfect lawn that you aspire to have? And they always seem to be in the garden mowing it. Yeah, of course. So like every day. I know somebody, every Thursday, they mow their lawn. It doesn't matter if it needs mowing or not. It doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't matter. They mow it. Thursday's grass mowing, like lawn mowing day. And actually, also a friend of my brother's every Thursday is like fuel day. He fills up his car. It doesn't matter if he needs $5 or 10 or 50 or whatever. He gets fuel on Thursdays, which I find. What is happening? Is your tractor moaning at you? It might be the vacuum cleaner that's going on out in the hallway. I do have my door closed, but you know. So I would suspect it's vacuum cleaner noises, not the tractor. Maybe the tractor is moaning at me because I've got such a gentle touch. But the vacuum has a voice. Oh. Not sure. I could turn my mic down for a... Oh! If somebody's got a... There's probably music as well. There's music in the other end of the house as well. That's probably it's probably where we're at. I could turn my mic down for a mojo to see if you can still hear things. Maybe they're all in your head, Mark, and you're just going crazy. No, your mic is okay. Oh, okay. Not sure. But there are noises happening on my end. That I need validation. Don't know where the sounds are coming from. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. So we're here, Marcus. I don't know if you want me to say this or not, but, you know, might be another... somebody else living in your house at some point in the future. And I bet they're going to make a mess. They're not going to, you know, do any work. It'll be a circus. It's going to turn up and be like, and demand things. Right, with the... not recently. If I'm honest. No. I wouldn't mind one day. I don't know if I'll ever get one. In many ways. I mean, I think I would be somewhat amused at times, I think, by just the number of questions. I'm kidding. Ah, well. When you're old and crusty, you'll be like, come here. Have you get your podcast recorded there, Doorbell? If so, speedy. Right, now we need to go over here and sort out old Cobber. Yeah, I can switch vehicles on the fly. If you just push tab, you can go through various vehicles. You can turn that off, but I can't be bothered. I don't have a run around to drive between all the places the two places I need to be. Dope stream. Whoops! I've just run into that. And he plays. I usually tab and just listen to him. Okay. Right, we need to go back up to our tractor and get this going again and continue our installation of canola. I love that the cab ride on this tractor is pretty much like a tin shed. No luxuries at all. It's got speakers, but this here should be loud. It's pretty much, if it's raining, it will keep you slightly dry. It'd probably fog up in there, get all condensation. It'd be like nasty. But rightio. Right, let's get lined up. Sort of. Drop that and go Joe. Oh, it's Disturbia. Well, I get striked if I sing. Well, we've got 30. I was just looking at our money. We had about 75,000, and now we've all of a sudden got 30. I mean, I did buy this seeder and seed. I mean, this seeder was 40,000, so oh well. It is what it is. Money. It's drag. Ha! Yeah. Do you reckon it's true that girls don't like boys, girls like cars and money? I mean, it must be true. It's in a song. Boys don't like girls, girls like cars and money. That's not how it goes. Oh, geez, I'm hungry. I could go for some food at some point. I mean, I will. Have some luncharoni. UCAR caviar, 4-star daydream. And they'll buy me a football team. I don't think I'd buy a sports team, if I'm honest. I'd get a new car. Actually, I'm interested in a vehicle. I've mentioned this Wednesday. I've probably mentioned it like every stream, but I am interested in a new vehicle. However, there's two big catches. First of all, with the, of course, we've got some travel restrictions and whatever happening on. So it's not really a good idea to be, unnecessarily, should I say, going places to look at stuff. Also, said vehicle that I'm hot on is on the other side of the country, which is also a slight inconvenience. Is it a disco? No, it's not a disco. But it is a Land Rover. Look at this, we've missed this big gap here, so... It's a Land Rover Defender 90, so the short wheelbase one. Ooh, yes. But they are not cheap vehicles, even used ones. But I have found one on the other side of the country. But it has, it's got a bit of kit on it. Bull bars, got a winch. Etc. Because I have a 4-wheel drive and I have a little car I just drive and I have a daily. But I want to consolidate to one vehicle. And I don't want a big car. I don't want a ute or anything. Like I don't need a ute or anything. So I thought, oh well, I'll go for a short wheelbase vehicle. So I thought, oh, maybe a Jeep Wrangler, but you can only get them in autos. And unless you get the 4-door one, like the top spec, you can't get a diesel engine as well. They're all V6 petrol things. Which I guess at the moment with fuel being cheap's not really a drama, but yeah. And also it's a Jeep, so even in the US. Yeah. But there is a new Defender coming. I don't know if it's out yet, but it's at least going to be out soon. But they're not going to sell... I don't think they're going to sell the short wheelbase one here in Australia. But they're probably going to be, 60 grand new for one. And that'll be the bog standard POV pack one. So, yeah, I don't know, it's a bit difficult. I did think about getting a Suzuki Jimny, but that's not really... They're not really that big. Even though I don't want a big car, but the Suzukis I think it might be a little bit too small. Because I have my current driver is a Fiat. I've got a Fiat 500. And really, a Jimny's one of them, but 4-wheel drive. They're physically, I would guess, very similar size. And so I thought, maybe something that is a little bit bigger. But I don't want anything big. Like a friend of mine's got a Nissan Patrol, and it is huge. I mean, it is a massive car. It is huge. And my sister has a Land Cruiser Ute, and that is massive, and it's just like driving a truck. That's an absolute heap. I hate it. Yeah, I'd love a Land Cruiser. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think they're much chop because they're so expensive. Like air conditioning, right, is a factory option. I don't think they come with aircon. Maybe if you get the, I don't think the bog standard one does. Like you're paying, I think a stock cruiser is like 60, no, a bit more than that, 65 maybe. And it's like, yeah, you want air conditioning? Hey, it's a factory option, mate. We're not going to give it to you. How ridiculous is that? In 2020. But they're canning the V8 ones, apparently. They're going to go to a V6 number. Yeah, 90s ones, yeah. They're not cheap. Bit like Hilux as well. I mean, look, they're good. They're reliable. They will go and go and go. However, if you want to buy one, all right, if you want to sell, but if you want to buy one, I'd be interested to see what the new Ford Bronco's like. Actually, probably a heap, but. So, I don't know. And also, I want to sort of. I mean, I guess it's probably not ridiculous to sort of think and get a car that'll do me for a little bit into the future, not one that's just going to serve my requirements now. But then it's hard to sort of justify that when I don't need a big car. I just really want something big enough that I can put my bicycle. You know, and I've got a four-wheel drive, as I said, but it stays elsewhere. So if friends like, yeah, I want to go camping, I've got to get somebody to take me to where my other car is and drive that back home, and so it's like planning. And also if I'm here, like right now, say when I finish the stream, if I go, oh well, I want to go for a drive up the snow, not that there's any snow yet, but if I'm like, oh, I want to go for a drive to mountain in the snow, well, I can't just go because I can't drive the feed up the mountain. Well, really, I don't even really like driving it on gravel, if I'm honest. And I want to do some. Be nice to start doing some vlogs and things, and I want to drive and like go on some little drives. And if I'm like, oh, let's go to, a waterfall. Well, I don't have nice sealed roads into the waterfalls. I've got to go on dicey gravel. I don't want to take my car on that sort of track. So, but if I had a vehicle, don't go chasing waterfalls. I'm making a real meal out of this reverse job here, aren't I? Let's just drop it and go. Yeah, so just a little bit of TLC. Just stick to the rivers and lakes. Well, there's a river going through town, but it's brown. They used to dump sewage in it. So that'd be great for a vlog, wouldn't it? We're here at the river and look at it, it's tasty. I mean, that could be a thing, but... you know what, let's just drive down this edge here. Take me to the river and drop me in the water. Is that a song? It probably is. I don't know. It should be. I was working in a bridal shop in Flushing, Queens, until my boyfriend kicked me out in one of those crushing scenes. Ooh! Talking heads. Yeah. What guys? What dudes? Where was I to go? What was I to do? I was out of my fanny. Went over the bridge to Flushing. Right, from Flushing to the Sheffield store. I was there to sell makeup and something. I was there. I had flair. That's how I became the nanny. Because I was exactly what the doctor prescribed. I'm the lady in red when everybody else is wearing tan. A flashy girl from Flushing. The nanny named Fran. Oh. Dr. Feelgood. Doctor, give me good news. I've got a bad case of loving you. I don't know if you watch Lessons from the Screenplay, Mark, but they had an interesting... Robert Palmer, bad case of loving you. I don't know if you listen to or watch Lessons from the Screenplay, but they had a video comparing Sunset Boulevard to Parasite, the latest one. Yeah, I think they're pretty good videos. They have a podcast as well called, I think it's called Beyond the Screenplay, and the guy, what's his name, Michael, who hosts the videos, he is obviously on the podcast, and then there's 3 other people on there who write write scripts for the videos and such. And actually last night, the most recent episode of the podcast, which I listened to last night, they talked about Sunset Boulevard. And the episode of the podcast before that, they talked about Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. About how it's just sort of like a comedy western sort of thing. That's a good movie, actually, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. With Paul Newman and Robert Redford. So actually, I can't wait to get to that on my watch. I think Ace Ventura, I think it's When Nature Calls. That's the second Ace Ventura. That's the next movie for me to watch. And then I think We Were Soldiers as well. Are the next 2 on my list. And then Wanted's coming up as well, which is average. I don't think I've seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Yeah, When Nature Calls. Actually, I had actually seen When Nature Calls before I had first. I saw that first. I didn't watch Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and then see the second one. I saw the second one actually first. I thought it was just a standalone movie. I didn't actually. There was a good while I didn't actually know that Ace Ventura, Pet Detective was actually a movie. But yeah, they are quite different. I think the first one is probably better. If I remember. Remembering, right, I think remembering the second one enough. I think the first movie is actually probably better. Yeah. Obviously, I can remember 2 things about the second movie. Is he's in that robot... what is it? Not Triceratops. Rhino, and he gets hot in there, and he comes out its rear end. Yeah. And then I remember there's a bit where they're at the safari... It's not a safari park, but they're at that posh house, and he starts chasing the villain, and he goes outside and he checks all the Land Rovers, and none of them have keys except the huge monster truck, and then he takes chase in that, which is ridiculous. Right, this guy's almost full, so we will start up the Fent, unload, and take this over to where we need to, which is over there. I could be lazy and just hoon straight across that field and not take the road like a proper human would. As, I mean, I was going to say considerate driver there. Yes, he does park the car by rolling it over several vehicles, several others. That's ridiculous as well. I think like the first one has a lot of physical. Jim Carrey's, it's like the comedy's not dumb, it's very physical comedy, but I think that the gimmicks of things. The second one's probably more gimmicky with those sorts of, you know, rolling a car over like a million other cars to park it sort of thing. Yeah, it is, yeah, really excessive. Because in the first one, he's driving that car, is it a Chevelle or something, that coupe he's got? And I think he does like a J-turn or something into a car park, I can't quite remember. Ooh. Mm. Oh, right, dodged out or a corner. If, what's that website? It's like Internet Car Database or something, Internet Movie Car Database. It's like IMDb, but for cars. Something along those lines. Yeah, I think the mystery actually in the first one's reasonably decent because you're like, oh, it's this guy who's the rich guy who has all the exotic fish. But plot twist, it's like the police captain who's actually a woman. Wait, a man. 72 Monte Carlo. Monte Carlos. Did they call them Monte Carlos if they were made in like Spain or somewhere? Yeah, Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is a man. Oh, Jesus. Almost rolled our tractor. But that's okay. Because we don't have to deal with any... I don't... Yeah, that's right, laces out. Is that actually a rule? Like, is that actually a thing? Does it make any difference if the laces are out or in on a ball when you kick it? Yes, very much so. We see, yeah, see, you know, and in the foosball here, the old AFL, laces, I suppose you could say laces out. Have them facing away from you. But then, I don't know, if you just go for a snap, or like a goal, just go for a quick snap goal, then you just sort of have the ball and you go for it. But I think generally, yeah, laces to the top, or laces out. Whereas rugby, I don't think rugby balls actually have laces on them. Or do they? Well, they might. Actually, I'm not really sure. They probably do, yeah. But I would suspect, at least when it comes to passing, that doesn't really matter. But when it comes to the kick, you probably, yeah, want laces out. Ah, yeah. I'd agree with that. I think rugby gives a proper whoopsie about anything. But when they put the ball on the little stand thingy to do a kick, I'm sure they place it in a very appropriate manner. One thing I got to say I think is pretty good about rugby, and I like hot take, the NFL should do this, but in rugby when they score a try, where they kick for a field goal is determined as to where abouts the try is scored, if that makes sense. So let's say you got the goal, and the try is scored to the left of the goal, then they have to kick to the left of, you know, of the goal square or the goal posts. As in the NFL, it doesn't matter if you get a touchdown, you get it, you know, hard left on the field or just underneath the goal or whatever. They always go for the conversion like directly in front of the goal posts, whereas in rugby, where the ball is kicked for the goal, the field goal is determined by whereabouts on the field or what angle or whatever the whatchamacallit, try was scored. So it's not a straight dead in front kick every time, where it is with the NFL, which makes it seem if people ever miss that, they're absolutely shouldn't be allowed to kick because you're right in front. Whereas at least whereas in rugby, because the kicker has to get the ball to curve round and do fancy magic, you know. But they do typically, I mean, very rarely do they miss it. They typically do kick it. Ultimately, it's an opportunity to do a two-pointer conversion, which adds tension and drama. When it happens, I don't think I've ever watched an NFL game where I've gone for a two-point conversion. Maybe once. Did they do it in the Super Bowl once? Was it Denver? Who did the Broncos play that Super Bowl? Or did they play Seattle and they got absolutely poleaxed? They might have gone for a two-point. Well, they were in all sorts at the start of the game. They might have gone for a two-point because they needed the 2 points. I can't remember. It happens on occasion, yeah. Most 2-point conversions get poleaxed. Yeah. Also, it'd be interesting. Can a player, say you're playing NFL, say, I don't know, the old, what's his name, the touchdown guy, the quarterback throws you the ball. If you catch it, can you then kick it through the goals, score, or not? Is that something that's allowed? Absolutely not. Okay. Not just no, but absolutely no. Interesting. Whereas, of course, in the old rugby, if you get the ball and you're like, yeah, we need like a field goal, you can slot it through. Interesting. And also, it doesn't matter if the ball just goes through the post, regardless if it's hit the crossbar or not. It still counts like for a full amount of points. Is that also correct? Because, for example, in the AFL, no, you're not sure. We'll see. For example, in the AFL, a field goal, a kick is 3 points. Touchdown 6, yeah. See, whereas in, like, say in the AFL, if you kick the ball for a goal and it hits the goal post and goes through, or if the ball is touched on the line, so a goal is 6 points, if you kick it and the ball hits the post or gets touched before it goes through the goal post, you don't get 6 points, you only get 1, because it's classed as a behind then. Weird. Yeah. I mean, weird, different. And also, if you're the opposing team, say, for example, we'll just say you're in your defence, and I'm attacking you. If you have the ball and you're in front of my goal, you can rush the ball through or put the ball through the goal deliberately, as it were, just so I won't score. I will score, I'll get a point, but just so I won't get a 6 points. You do get in trouble if you do it quote-unquote deliberately, but if you're under pressure, you're allowed to rush it through. Or 1 point if it's an extra point on a touchdown. Okay. This is why the rules for Quidditch are so boo. Oh, Quidditch. Yes, Harry, yes. So, yeah, I don't know. Ball sports with, what would you call them? Oval-shaped balls are different. Quite different. Maybe I need to get... I'll have to have a look on Steam. Maybe I need to get like a cricket. Well, actually, I did think about getting a cricket game on Steam so I could play some cricket for you. Maybe I need to get a football game, AFL game or rugby game and play that. Don't do it. It'll take days. If I play a test match, it'll take 5 maybe. I could just do 2020 or one-day games. But they're not proper cricket. Well, at least 2020 games aren't. I don't really get much into 2020. It's not proper test cricket. I saw some videos on YouTube. It's like some guy who apparently is a baseball player reacting to cricket videos. And it's just really interesting to see him. And he's like somebody, like, you know, the bowler will bowl a particular delivery and you know, he'll be, and the batsman will get out. And the guy's like, oh yeah, that's planned. And you're like, well... yeah, it is. No, he wasn't a teen. I don't know how old he is. I can't even remember what his name is. I think he's a pitcher or something. I have no idea. But, you know, the bowler will bowl a particular delivery and he'll get... the batsman will, you know, edge it, get caught or something, and the guy will be like, oh, that was planned. And you're like, well, yeah, it is, because they have plans. You know, the teams have plans on how they're going to get out of the opposing batsman, so it's not like a revelation right there. But anyway, I can't remember what the guy's name was. Jim or something. Actually, it wasn't Jim. Or was it? I mean, it probably was. Anyway. But yeah, it's just interesting to see. Deceptively deep sport is baseball. Interesting. I'm taking out of context. I don't know. It seems very slow to watch. Yeah, it's not fast yet. But it doesn't take days to play a game though. Like how it does with, if you're at least playing test cricket, because it's five days. So much subtext too. Yeah. Well, a few times I've seen it, and you know, the catcher will make his little finger jazz hand gestures to the pitcher, and the pitcher will do like touch his cap and all. It's like that episode of The Simpsons where they play baseball and Mr. Burns says to Homer, like, oh, if I tuck the bill of my cap like this, it means the signal is a fake. And if I touch my belt buckle not once, not twice, but thrice, you've got to do this. Also, I love that Mr. Burns says thrice. That's a great word. People need to use the word thrice when they're talking about the number 3 more often, or 3 times. It's that's a solid Simpsons episode. Just saying. Things in the way. Yeah. I actually watched a video on somebody I watch, Patrick Willems. They do video essays, and they made one on what the perfect episode of The Simpsons is. And it was the episode with the Lemon Tree and at when Shelbyville's still the Lemon Tree, because there's so many good like callbacks and so many things are set up previously in the opening sort of bits of the episode to come back, and it's pretty good. Yeah, it was a good video. And like well explained, I think, how things, and like because Patrick had his whiteboard out and he's like, oh, this is a callback to this over here, and it comes back and blah blah blah. In baseball, every batter has the entire history of the batter, and pitcher behind it. Catchers are very well versed on histories of. Right, well, we're done. Our field's in, and we didn't have to go back and fill it up. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the shop. We're going to top off our cedar, and then we're going to go up to that job and see what old mate's doing up there, loitering around, I would suspect. Oh, wow. Okay. So, yep. And then we'll park our gear over. I don't know how long I've been going for. We might finish that potato job and wrap it up. Ingard. And then, I don't know, I'll go and check my time lapse. I'll set up my camera outside to do a time lapse. So I have some footage. So I can finally start working on getting podcast episodes onto YouTube, which has been a long-winded process. But I'm hoping, here we go, big announcement, to actually get the podcast on YouTube with video, as in like with me, on it. That makes sense? I have no idea. Have a good day. Have a good day there, doorbell. 'Cause I say, do have a nice day. Wow. Yes, so we're working on having like a live version of podcast on YouTube, unedited. And then, for the audio version, we'll have Zem jingles. If I had something like a refill, if I had something like a that literally just disappeared. What? Go refill, mate. An unplugged version. Yeah, better wear a cardigan. It'd be good if I had like a Rodecaster or they have a Zoom. What is it? L12, is it? No, not Zoom L12. There's a smaller one, the 8, I think it is, because you can have like live jingles and things on them. They have a soundboard. It'd be good if I had one of those setups. Wow. Whoa. Disgraceful. But I might, I'll invest maybe in one of those setups later on at some point. Who knows when. Maybe I could get one with me ScoMo Kovo Stimulus dough. Actually, I don't know if it would cover it. How much is a Rodecaster Pro worth? I'd have to have a look. Actually, for Zoom, I think it's cheaper by quite a way. But is it any better? Who knows? Now I'm gonna look now when I finish this. Right, well, let's park up our tractor at our empty yard, our farm with nothing. L12 is not much more expensive. L8 will probably be cheaper. Yeah, well, the L12's massive, so I most definitely don't need anything that elaborate, but L8 would probably be a contender. But I would like to move over and get some road stuff, though, because, you know, it's a local brand and all, but then it all comes down to, you know, price and value for money, though, as well. You've got to take that into consideration. Of course, it's all nice to buy, you know, support the local brand, but, you know, I don't know. Road, if you're out there listening, send me some stuff for review, and then I'll keep it. Right, we're going to fold this up. Is it going to continue to fold? It is. One of these things is not like the other. Road, if you're out there. Yeah, exactly, send me stuff. See if I was Bandrew, he's got pull at Road. They send him swag. So Bandrew, if you're out there listening, all that Road swag that you've been sent, send it to me instead. But I think my setup though is going all right. Got the Q2U here in the Behringer, so I don't really need to upgrade anything. You know, it'd be nice to upgrade but I don't really need to. Really, I just need to be not lazy and start using my pop filter, which I've had for long enough. I don't typically use it. I need to be not lazy and start using that, because I was listening actually on yesterday's episode of the podcast, and there was some pops in it, and I was like, oh, that doesn't sound great. I need to be not lazy and excuse me. I need to be not lazy and start using my, geez, that was close, my pop filter. Oh, it's holy ghoulies, it's 2:30. Just looking at the timing, because I'm like, oh, how long have I been streaming for? Be 1.5 hours, because I think I started at about 1 local time. So I think that's long enough, if I'm honest. I don't want to be like one of those people who streams for like 1 million hours. Or maybe I will be one day, but with my current setup. Not that my current setup's bad, but, you know, if I had 2 screens and just a little bit more room and such where my desk is, that'd be, you know, something to do. But well, we're just starting out. We're building a streaming community here on Luku's Live. Right, we're going to unload this at the place here. And we've got to take this gear back, return this equipment. Yeah, still need to build up to it. Exactly. Look at that. Build 9 contract finished. So, complete. Lease cost $786. Nah, it's not bad. Now I think if I do, wait, we're going to do this. Do I go garage? Is this got the gear on there? Leased items. Apparently nothing. What? You're having a laugh. Wait, does that make any difference? I'm sure I can just... hold on, where would it go? Garage. Leased items. Back. Oh, that's what I own. Yeah, right. Does that mean I have to drive this gear back to the field? Back to the thing? Actually, I've had a thought. I don't know how somebody can lease for a very long time. Oh, no, I don't want to buy that. All right, we'll return this gear back to the shop. Oh, it looks, I can't be lazy and just do it. So Now, what buttons for me flashes? Me beacon lights. Don't know. It's one of them. Oh well. Yeah, build up to ridiculously long streams. But, oh well. There's just something really to do. It'd be alright to earn some dollar dues off it one day, but I'm not hoping on. Oh well, no, I'm not expecting that at all. Right, we're going to return this tractor and trailer. I think when you do like contracting jobs, because at least in the early stages you don't have your own equipment to do most of them. Leasing the gear and using this stuff's a good test. It's like a good, would I buy this? Would I buy a Fendt when I can afford it? Sort of thing. Probably not. I don't know. They're not very popular around here in the farming area. No, that's the ATM. Have I taken it to the wrong spot? I probably bloody have. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Oh, that's probably it. And look, everything's gone and we've got our money. Oh my goodness. Right, well. We figured it out. So we've got a crop in. Field 21. Canola in it. It's growing. Needs to be ploughed. We might plough it next time. We might, after we've harvested this, we might plough it. Now I wonder how much is field. That's 108. Geez, that's not. Geez, 181 grand for that. What's the cheapest? That's 107, 120, what, 200? Oh my goodness. 125, 150. I don't think we're going to be able to buy another field for 50 grand. Maybe that one. We'll have to be the next. Well, we're a fair slug off 170,000. 180 for that. That doesn't include the farmyard. How much is this one? 200. I mean, you don't just buy the field. You buy the field and the land surrounding it, I suppose. We can even buy the town. I wonder if that's going to make us money. Probably not. That's 107. Maybe we could buy this next. Farming seems depressing. Can be. Anyway. There we go. Farming simulator. So next time I think we will work on harvesting. Growing, of course, our crop. We might do another couple of contract jobs just in the early stages here while we can get some bucks. And yeah, anyway, thanks for coming along. Thanks, Mark, for being here. Appreciate it. And also you, Doorbell, and of course Heather, who was here earlier. But yeah, anyway, I'll catch you next time. Wednesday, we're going to be doing a bit of Trucksin, American Truck Sim. So that'll be fun. And I think we'll have to see what our finances are, but we might be able to get a truck, actually buy our own. We'll see. Anyway, thank you. And yeah, I'll see you later.